So I noticed that I always say, trust the process. And I realize now how insensitive that may sound, especially considering the fact that even I don't trust anything, not until I thoroughly understand it. I've always preferred to take things apart so I can dissect every aspect of it until I understand how it works, why it works, and I have to do this so that I can truly trust it. Hence why I trust the law of assumption and the extended spiritual laws. I can trust the process because I understand the process. That trust parlays into the necessary detachment and the state of ease, which in turn helps me generate positive changes in my life and to remain still when things are seemingly going sideways. So in this video, I'm going to break down manifestation into a process, like a roadmap for you. The goal is to make it inclusive, not just for diehard spiritualists, but for people like me who love the science of things, the science of self-improvement, facts and figures, things that we can physically track. I like road trip analogies because that's my favorite hobby. Imagine you're driving from Toronto to Montreal with no freeway signs and no compass, but you've got some girl on the internet saying, just trust the process. For me, it's that insane because you don't know where you are. You don't know where this road will lead. What are you to trust in? This is your life we're talking about. And the things that you want are mega important to you. So it is completely understandable why you are so anxious and distrustful, why you have so many questions. The process of manifestation or goal achievement, whatever you want to call it, is always the same, regardless of the goal. The timing may alter a little bit because perhaps the first time you embarked upon this journey, you got lost for a little bit. Maybe the second time you got a flat tire. But the process is always the same. And the process is as follows. Step 1 is contrast, which is just another word for negative experience. It's some sort of experience that's currently part of your reality that you're not fond of. And it doesn't even have to be anything too dramatic. It could just be something that you've grown out of and now it bores you. Some examples could be, you don't like that the girl you like doesn't like you back. You don't like that your wealth isn't where it should be. You don't like the body you're inhabiting. Your boss is mean. Your grades are awful. Your net worth is just $1 million, but your liquid assets are just $0.25 of that. A lot of people stay here in this spot, and then they grow up to be complainers, woe is me types, choosing to find someone or something else to blame as opposed to finding solutions. This is not a comfortable spot to find yourself in. However, it is necessary because contrast is actually step 1 of the entire manifestation journey. Knowing what you don't want helps you identify what you do want. Okay, so my boyfriend cheated on me, so I know I don't want that. During the relationship, I was a pushover, so now I know I don't want that version of myself. He led me to believe that I was crazy when I was suspicious, so I know now I do not want experiences like that. Okay, so what do I want? This is step 2 of the manifestation process, desire. Most times desire is easily recognizable because oftentimes it's just the opposite of a negative situation. What's the opposite of an unfaithful man? A faithful man. What's the opposite of financial insecurity? It's financial security. After you identify a negative situation in your life, a desire is born. A desire to experience the positive opposite of that negative experience. Step 3 is thoughts. Step 4 is alleviation, but it feels like relief or some other powerful emotion. Though these are 2 distinctly different locations in your road trip, I am chunking them together because they often happen simultaneously. It'd be like being within the town of Kawartha Lakes, within the county of Peterborough. Or for Americans, it's like being within the city of Miami, within the county of Miami-Dade, I believe it's called. So they're technically different, but they're still related, and I'll explain. When you identify a desire, you think about it. And as you think about this desire, you begin to feel some sort of way about it. You may feel relief, empowerment, arousal, safe, curiosity, intrigue, and fascination perhaps. It is nearly impossible to think about something that you desire or equally do not desire and not feel some way about it. This is why everyone warns us against thinking about things that we do not want, because chances are very high you're going to feel some way about it. A spiritual viewpoint says once you feel a pronounced emotion regarding a certain topic, you start magnetizing it into your life, because emotion is energy in motion. A more socially acceptable viewpoint would discourage you from thinking about negative things and feeling about it specifically, because it changes your perspective on life. It poorly affects your self-esteem. It's like constantly harping on the fact that you were bullied in school and rejected by girls. Yeah, how's that manifesting for you right now within the workforce or within your dating life? Are you super clingy now? Or are you just completely shut off because you just can't let anyone in to reject you yet again? This is one reason why incitement of violence and hate speech is a thing. Because when you use your words to provoke a pronounced emotion within someone, they have a lot of energy now. And that energy needs to be spent somehow physically. This leads us to step 5, idea, plan, inspired action. This happens when the emotion within you, again, energy in motion, builds up to such a point that you have to do something about it. For those of us who shun all spirituality, you just have an idea and you come up with a plan. Within the law of attraction / assumption communities, we call it inspired action. When I was religious, I would say God spoke to me. No matter what you call it, it's all the same thing. It's the same location in your road trip. Again, too many people stop here at this part of the journey. If we're traveling from Toronto to Montreal, this would just put you in Ottawa. And as beautiful as Ottawa is, it's neither Toronto nor Montreal. So I encourage you, hon, don't stop here. Let's keep on going. Look back at how far you've come. Look back at how much had to go down just for you to get to this point. Keep on going, and let's proceed to the next step. Step 6, execution or techniques. In self-development, you execute the plan. Within spirituality, you utilize visualization or similar techniques and the lot. Or you just simply occupy the state. Step 7, confirmation, progress, feedback. You start receiving these. I'll use a beautiful example that classically illustrates feedback. So I used to be a much heavier girl, and I was not very happy with that. I went through this entire manifestation process until I got through this exact step. An older woman I know, I will not identify her more than that because I still love her and we're good now. But she decided to unintentionally aid me in my manifestation journey. She provided unsolicited feedback, but she insulted me. Now, all of my life, since I hit puberty, I was known for being hella curvy. And this older woman said, and I quote, "Oh, your ass is getting flat." Now, this is something you never say to a woman who is seemingly struggling with her self-esteem and body image. It was obviously meant to be an insult, but because by this point in my life, I was already very familiar with the whole manifestation road trip, I simply replied by saying, "Oh, thank you," because this was confirmation that I am losing the weight that I want to lose. And it's becoming noticeable now, not just to me, but to others around me. The state I've been occupying is now becoming physical and apparent to others. Feedback can sometimes sound like criticism. It's that, "Who do you think you are?" To which you reply, "Just you wait and see." Confirmation is the spiritual term of progress. This is what happens when you start noticing that the girls are checking you out again, or you heard through the grapevine that your ex has been asking about you. Way too many people stop at this rest stop and call it manifestation. And if you're truly satisfied here, then by all means. But if you're not, we proceed to step 8, continuance or persistence. If you're utilizing the spiritual laws, you persist in occupying the state of the wish fulfilled. You keep behaving as such. You keep living as though it's already done. For less than spiritual people, you keep executing the plan. There were more items to check off, so you keep checking them off. You did not embark upon this journey just so that you could hear rumors about your promotion, but you started this trip because you wanted to land the promotion, so you keep on driving. Step 9 is debatable because by this point in the journey, it's so minuscule and honestly barely noticeable in comparison to what's coming next. Let's say the goal was a 6-pack. Well, then step 9 would be a 4-pack. Or the goal was to get back together with your ex. Step 9 would be her calling you and saying, oh, I made a mistake, I treated you poorly, I never stopped loving you, blah, blah, blah. If the goal was to become a homeowner, step 9 would be you got your mortgage approved. Step 9 is when the writing is on the wall, your arrival is impending, you can literally smell the Montreal poutine. Unless you croak now, you're so in there. Step 10 is manifestation, achievement, accomplishment, whatever you choose to call it. It's when your wish has now been made physical. Literally, now it is done. So you throw a party and you celebrate your achievement. And you're very happy. And you're very fulfilled. And then a few weeks, months, or maybe even years go by. And you've settled into this new reality. And you're so settled, it starts to feel a little mundane. Maybe even a little boring. And you don't like the way this boredom feels. This boredom makes you feel dissatisfied, as though something is missing. You're lacking something. You are not fulfilled. You do not feel good. In fact, you feel bad. And once again, we find ourselves in contrast. It's time to take another road trip. Why are you this way? Well, spiritually, you are the whole universe condensed into this tiny human form. Did you really think you were not meant to expand and be big? Contentment leads to complacency. Evolutionary-wise, this was a poor survival strategy. Natural selection favored boredom. Bored individuals are more inclined to invent new things and find new ways of doing things that may ultimately improve your chance of survival. Neurologically, dopamine. It doesn't need to fire as much when your life is monotonous and routine. Your brain falls into a boring, predictable pattern. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with making you feel good. And when it's not firing as much, you feel bad. So why am I sharing this little chapter with you? So you can know who you are. So you can depedestalize all the big flashy things that you want right now in your life. Once you manifest or achieve them, you're going to want something more. It's very predictable at this point. So take them off the pedestal. Forget about the timing. Just get on your journey, ease through it, and go get what you want. What you want, for now, that is. But this is the process of how things are made. And with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I truly do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I trust you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more content just like this one. So how did you like today's video? And what video would you like to see next? You let me know in the comment section down below. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Toodles.